All right, Mayor, meeting is yours.
All right, thank you very much, Susan. She was just getting us set up on Facebook. Certainly want to welcome all of you to the Vinton Town Council meeting for this Tuesday evening, November 2nd, 2021. And we will start the meeting by calling the roll, please.
Councilmember Lyles.
Here.
Councilmember Mullins. Here. Councilmember Stovall.
Here.
Mayor Gross.
Here. Thank you. We're certainly pleased to have our Vinton Police Department Color Guard with us tonight, and we're very honored that they are here, and they are here for the presentation of the colors. This will be followed by the awards, introductions and presentations, and then the
Please bow your heads for a moment of silence. Sergeant Caldwell.
Present. Colors.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Colors. Forward. Mark.
Thank you all. You may be seated. Good afternoon, everybody. Mayor, members of council, town staff, and family and friends. At this time, we will conduct a promotion ceremony for the position of captain. The position of captain holds the job responsibilities of a deputy chief of police. The deputy chief of police is the senior ranking officer of the police department who is responsible for the day-to-day responsibilities of the operation of the Vinton Police Department. At this time, I will welcome Timothy Lawless to the front. Timothy Lawless is a 16-and-a-half-year law enforcement professional who began his career in law enforcement with the Town of Bedford Police Department in 2005. Lawless is a graduate of Cardinal Criminal Justice Academy, a graduate of Franklin County High School, class of 1999. Currently, Lawless is pursuing his degree in criminal justice with an anticipated completion date of February of 22. In addition to his higher education curriculum, Lawless has attended the Federal Bureau of Investigation Law Enforcement Executive Development Association Leadership Training and the Virginia Chief of Police Association Leadership in Changing Times Training. Lawless holds several instructorships, including but not limited to general instructor, field training instructor, and firearms instructor. Lawless began his career with the Vinton Police Department in November of 2010 and rose through the upcoming ranks. Lawless was promoted to the rank of corporal in May of 2012 and attained the sergeant ranks shortly after. He currently serves as the agency's acting lieutenant. Lawless's career with the Vinton Police Department has been captured by significant milestones, recognition, and awards. Lawless has received the department's highest supervisory achievement, the Leadership Award, 3 times. Lawless has been recognized as Officer of the Month, Top Gun, and Life Saving Award. In 2015, Lawless was recognized by the Office of Inspector General, Department of Health and Human Services for his actions during a federal search warrant operation. These are only a few notable mentions of a career illustrated by success. During his time, Lawless has been entrusted with many critical duties that are necessary for the operations of the Vinton Police Department. Those duties are fleet manager, systems administrator, radar and vehicle calibrations, and range master. Lawless's law enforcement career is captured through many successes and illustrates his personal and professional ambitions that paved his trajectory for this day. Notably, during his tenure as a senior supervisor, Lawless successfully applied for a competitive federal grant that helped the funding of the police department's vision of implementing body-worn cameras. Lawless is someone who is routinely sought after for advice and decision-making, both by his subordinates and his peers. This attribute highlights his natural ability to lead others. Moreover, part of Lawless's academic curriculum involves leadership styles, ethics, generational workforce differences, all critical components to someone who is lined up for the position of second in demand. Pinning Timothy Lawless will be his wife, Megan Lawless, and his daughter, Lacey Lawless. And at this time, I would like to welcome Megan and Lacey to stand by Tim. Each one of you can stand in just To all who shall see these presents greetings, know ye that reposing special trust and confidence in the fidelity and abilities of Timothy J. Lawless, I do appoint this officer a captain in the Vinton Police Department, a rank as such from the first day of November 2021. Effective with this appointment, you are charged to carefully and diligently execute the duties and responsibilities of a captain of the Vinton Police Department, and I do strictly direct and require all personnel of lesser grade to render obedience to appropriate orders. As a captain of the Vinton Police Department, you must set an example for others to emulate. Your conduct and professionalism, both on and off duty, shall be above reproach. You are responsible for the accomplishment of your assigned duties and for the safety, professional development, and well-being of the officers on and in your charge. You will be the embodiment of your institutional core values of honor, integrity, and professionalism. You will lead your officers with firmness, fairness, dignity, while observing and following orders and directions of your senior leaders and enforcing all regulations and governing the Commonwealth of Virginia and the town of Vinton, given under my hand at the Town of Vinton Police Department the 2nd day of November, in the year of our Lord, 2021. Congratulations. At this time, I would like to call Town Clerk Susan Johnson for the swearing ceremony.
Want to raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Timothy James Lawless,
I, Timothy James Lawless,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United
the
States,
Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Virginia,
the Constitution of the State of Virginia,
and the Code of the Town of Vinton,
and the Code of the Town of Vinton,
and that I will
and that I will
faithfully and impartially
faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all duties
all duties
incumbent upon me
incumbent upon me
as Deputy Chief of Police
as Deputy Chief of Police
of the Town of Vinton, Virginia,
of the Town of Vinton, Virginia,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. Need your signature.
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of council, and town employees, I thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak before you tonight. I am extremely grateful and blessed for this opportunity to serve as Deputy Chief of Police at the Vinton Police Department. I would like to thank each and every one of you for all your support over the years and your continued support of the police department moving forward. There are many people I would like to thank tonight that have made this opportunity possible. First, I want to thank my parents for all their support when my law enforcement journey started 17 years ago. They made it possible for me to put myself through the academy and to allow me to work towards my dreams. I want to give a special thanks to my stepdad, Greg, who helped me throughout the academy. He made time in his busy work schedule to help me study for those dreadful academy tests each and every week. After my graduation of the academy, that's when the real fun began. I was assigned to a field training officer. That officer was Neil Baltzell, who was the lucky individual that got stuck teaching a 23-year-old kid that was full of energy and thought that I was going to single-handedly save the world. Neil was able to bring me back down to reality and taught me valuable skills and lessons that I've carried throughout my career. Neil is actually here tonight. He's standing back there. And it means a lot to me that he was here today. And I just want him to know that I appreciate everything that he's done throughout my career. Your leadership and training abilities are the reason I'm standing here today. I now want to thank two of the most important people in my life, my beautiful wife, Megan, and my beautiful daughter, Lacey. They have sacrificed so much throughout my career. This would never have been possible without their support. Being married to a police officer is a tough task that many people don't realize. And working 12-hour rotating shifts, days and nights, requires a lot of away time from home. I've missed multiple family functions, holidays, sporting events, and much, much more. I know a lot of the times for many years, my wife Megan has probably felt like a single parent. She has stood strong by my side each and every step of the way. And Lacey has always understood and has stood by my side as well when her daddy couldn't attend her events. I love the love and support both of them have showed me throughout my career. I can never possibly begin to express my gratitude and love I have for both of them. So I thank you both very much for all your love and support. And I want to thank all the officers that I've worked with on shift for many years. You all have done an amazing job. And because of that, an amazing job that you all have done by default makes me look good as well. We have some of the best officers within our police department. It has been my privilege to work on shift with each and every one of them. Lastly, I want to thank Chief Drummond for this amazing, life-changing opportunity. I've worked with Chief for many years and have always admired his work ethic and his amazing leadership skills. As I take over his old position, I know I have big shoes to fill, which may not be possible. The position carries a lot of responsibility as I transition out of patrol work into administration side of policing. I'm sure there will be a learning curve with growing pains, but I promise I will always give you 110% each and every day. Again, I'm truly blessed and excited for this opportunity, and I look forward to working with everyone in this new capacity. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That was a good speech. I already got something to learn. Natural. Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of council, town staff, and family and friends, at this time, we will conduct a swear-in ceremony for two of our agency's recent graduates, and at this time, I would like to welcome Officer Milton Clark to the front. Our first first officer before you is Officer Milton Clark. Today, Officer Clark is accompanied by his wife Cheryl Clark, his wife of 16 beautiful years. Together, Officer Clark and Miss Clark have 3 boys, Gavin, age 20, Milton III, age 11, and Gage, age 10. Officer Clark grew up in Vinton, where he graduated from William Byrd High School in 1997. Previously, Officer Clark worked at Norfolk and Southern for 15 years before he followed his lifelong dream of becoming a police officer. While law enforcement is something he dreamed of pursuing, Vinton was the only place he could see himself follow his dreams. We are blessed to have Officer Clark join our ranks and serve the community where he grew up. Welcome. Miss Susan. Family would like to come up.
I, Milton Ray Clark Jr.,
I, Milton Ray Clark Jr.,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Virginia,
the Constitution of the State of Virginia,
and the Code of the Town of Vinton,
and the Code of the Town of Vinton,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all duties
all duties
incumbent upon me
incumbent upon me
as a police officer
as a police officer
of the Town of Vinton, Virginia,
of the Town of Vinton, Virginia,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of council, town staff, family, and friends. At this time, we will conduct the swearing ceremony for Officer Trey Postles, and I welcome Officer Trey Postles. Officer Bradford Trey Postles III, also known as Trey, is a Roanoke native and a 2018 graduate of William Byrd High School. You do the math there. Officer Postles is currently engaged to his lovely bride, Elizabeth, and together currently reside in Bedford County. Previous to this career with the Vinton Police Department, Officer Postles worked at Carillion as an emergency communications officer. In line with his aptitude to serve, Officer Postles is a volunteer firefighter, EMT in Manita. Officer Postles is also a recent graduate of Cardinal Criminal Justice Academy, a major milestone in achieving his dreams of becoming a police officer in the town of Vinton. Johnson.
I, Bradford Lee Postles III,
I, Bradford Lee Postles III,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Virginia,
the Constitution of the State of Virginia,
and the Code of the Town of Vinton,
the Code of the Town of Vinton,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all duties
all duties
incumbent upon me
incumbent upon me
as a police officer
as a police officer
of the Town of Vinton, Virginia,
of the Town of Vinton, Virginia,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of council, town staff, family, and friends, at this time we will introduce two of our agency's recent certified officers. The first I'd like to call up here and welcome up here is Brandon Charlton. Officer Brandon Charlton began his career with the Vincent Police Department in October of this year. Officer Charlton was born and raised in the Salem-Roanoke area and is a graduate of Salem High School, class of 2008. Academically, Officer Charlton attended Virginia Western Community College, where he obtained a degree in Administration of Justice. Ultimately, Officer Charlton pursued a career in law enforcement that began with the Western Virginia Regional Jail, where he remained for 5 years, and the Salem Police Department, where he served as an officer for 5 years. Officer Charlton brings with him 10 years of law enforcement services and is excited to be a part of his new home, the Vinton Police Department. Officer Charlton chose to transition his career because of the Vinton Police Department is known to be the best in our area. We are thrilled to have Officer Charlton join our team and look forward to the future progression of his career. Actually, Charlton. At this time, I will call Officer William Trey Boyd. That's benign. Officer Boyd has been a resident of the town of Vinton for the past 12 years. Today, Officer Boyd is accompanied by his wife, Stephanie, and his 8-year-old daughter, Spencer. Officer Boyd is well known in our community and will continue to grow with his new career with the Vinton Police Department. Officer Boyd is also a graduate of Cardinal Criminal Justice Academy and began his career in Vinton in October of this year. Prior to this service, he served in the Town of Bedford Police Department. Officer Boyd is very active with the community and knowing the community, and he can't wait to continue to grow those relationships. Welcome, Officer Boyd. Thank you all. Thank you for giving me the time to recognize some very notable relationships that we're about to begin to navigate. I'll turn the floor over to you guys.
Chief Truman, if I might interrupt, Ann, before you get started, thank you very much for the presentations, and certainly an exciting evening. Some of the folks we know a little better than others. We look forward to getting to know all of them and work with them. And I just want to welcome them to the town of Vinton and to the Vinton Police Department. Thank you, Chief Truman, for arranging all this. It's a very nice ceremony this evening, and I tell you, I sit up here just about bursting with pride. It's just an awesome thing to see these great men come aboard, and one of them you mentioned wanted to be here because of the best department around, and I certainly agree with that. So thank you, and thank you all of you folks, and I want to thank all of you for being here. This is certainly an evening to recognize these folks, and we're just really proud of the new additions and the advancements in the department. We love our police department here in the town of Vinton, and we certainly support them every time we have an opportunity. We do everything we can. So we're really excited for these folks in our entire department. Council, y'all have any comment?
I do. You know, Mr. Mayor, people say that when they move to a community, they move there to be safe. That's the number one thing. And you look at these people that we've advanced and we've employed tonight, you know, to come to Vinton, which is 3.2 square miles, of over 8,000 citizens, to help us keep this community safe. As one council member, of course, on behalf of the citizens, I thank you. I thank you very much for choosing the town of Vinton, choosing the Vinton Police Department. Councilmember Lyles gives me a hard time, but I started back at age 19 with the Vinton Police Department, so my heart will always be with the Vinton Police Department, but thank you very much for choosing the Vinton Police Department.
Thank you guys very much, and thank you for your service. Thank you for being here, and welcome to our new faces, and we're excited to have you in our family.
Yeah, welcome everyone. Stovall said I give him a hard time, but clearly our police department has come a very long way.
Yeah, but we laid the foundation, that's all I can say.
I am very proud to be part of this community, and having a police department like this makes us even more proud to serve in our roles because, like Mike said, our community is safe. It's because of you guys and the leadership that you guys have. We are a very fortunate town because we're so small, but we do have a big police department, and a lot of our officers, as you may know, we have a marshal that used to be our police chief. We're going to hold on to Drummond for a while and not let Lawless go anywhere either for a little while, hopefully. But people go on to do a lot of good things after they leave our police department. Not that we want anybody to leave, but this is a great place to work. And it's very successful. The officers here leave very successful. So.
Thank you, sir. Again, thank you, folks. We certainly appreciate all of you being here, and I'm just really excited about where our police department is going. Thank you, sir. And we'll let you have your turn now, sir.
Quickly want to say congratulations to Captain Lawless. What Chief didn't mention is he also had to run the payroll today, and he did a great job. So congratulations. So our first introduction today, I'm very proud to present to you Kimberly Hunter. So she is a proud resident of Benton since 2010. She's excited to bring her work ethic and experience to the town. She's a graduate of James River High School and attended classes for radio and television broadcasting at Virginia Western, but decided on a career with Walmart, where she experienced many job positions and gained much knowledge as a manager and supervisor for 22 years. After her retirement from Walmart, she spent several years at Suburban Propane, learning utility aspects and customer account management. She is a humble mother of two beautiful twin girls, and you may have to help me with her name. Is it Anya? Anya and Jocelyn, and two bonus daughters, Haley and Peyton, with her engagement to Jeff Ramsey. I enjoy spending time, or she says she enjoys spending time with her family and doing activities within the community, and she's happy to work part-time at the local Benton Moose Lodge. She loves live music, and I'm sorry that Councilmember McCarty is not here because she says UVA Athletics, go Hoos, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So welcome to Kimberly.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
We're very happy in the Finance and Treasurer's Office to have two new employees tonight to introduce to you. And the second employee here is Mary Butler. She has lived in East Roanoke County, Benton area all her life. She is married with two grown children, and they are proud William Byrd High School graduates. Her husband is a science teacher at William Byrd, and their son is an assistant manager at the Benton McAdoo's. Their daughter works in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Her family and her attend Campbell Memorial Presbyterian Church here in Benton, and she also has 3 cats and a dog that she considers part of her family. She has numerous years of administrative, financial, and clerical background and has worked with several local governments, including Roanoke County and the town of Troutville, leading her to want to work with the town of Benton. She enjoys traveling with family and planning trips, and her favorite vacation spots are Disney World and North Myrtle Beach area. Over the past few years, they've been to the Bahamas, Niagara Falls, Boston, and Key West, and she hopes to make a trip out west in the near future. She is a Virginia Tech fan, go Hokies,
Yeah.
and enjoy watching college football and basketball, especially ACC games. And she says she's very happy to be working for the town of Benton.
All right.
Mary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ann. One more presentation for tonight.
I don't know. Good evening, Mayor Gross, members of the Town Council. I do just letting you know that I believe Virginia Department of Forestry have nominated the town for the 2021 Arbor Day celebration, and we won the Gold Leaf Medal for the from the Mid-Atlantic chapter of the International Society of Arboriculture for the 2021 Arbor Day celebration. Just a brief history, the town celebrated its first Arbor Day in 2001 at W.E. Cundiff, and Council Member Stovall was the chairman of the school board then. And just, I would like to thank Mayor Gross since 2004 when he became the mayor. You have not missed any of the Arbor Day celebration. And the Arbor Day celebration includes tree planting and the tree and the event, which basically, we have a forestry from Department of Forestry telling the children and adults at the event the importance of trees. So it is a team effort. Of course, my department, staff, Public Works, the Virginia Department of Forestry, like I mentioned before, Roanoke County School, because we have to plant these trees at public properties. We also planted some other trees at the town-owned property. Some of the trees are donated by Appalachian Power Company. At the same time, the funding for the tree planting from the first year through 2013 is from Valley Beautiful. And then since then, the grant is funded through the Virginia Department of Forestry through the Tree for Clean Water fund program. So I'd be happy to answer any question. And I do have the award that was presented to the town.
Right. Nita, thank you very much. And as you mentioned, this has certainly been a team effort, a lot of people involved. But I especially want to thank you for organizing our Arbor Day activities every year and putting the program together. I know it's kind of like herding cats sometimes, but it's always a great program and a great time to celebrate. We've done a lot of things as far as planting trees and stuff recently around town. I hope you folks have noticed. So a lot of work goes into that. So that's all part of it. So this is the plaque that we received recently, and this is the ISA Gold Leaf Award for Outstanding Arbor Day Activities. So thank all of you folks that have worked hard to help us earn this award.
Thank
you, Anita. All right.
Mayor, if I may, sir. Those officers that were recognized today, please step outside, and Ms. Adams will take a photograph of you, and I welcome your families to go with you.
Yes. Thank you, folks, for being with us tonight. We certainly won't be offended if you don't hang around.
I think there were some dinner reservations too, so.
Keith, you gonna do that? Yeah. Okay.
Mayor, have you figured out the math yet on that one guy?
I'm still working on it. I can't get my calculator to work.
I'll tell you the answer. I got you.
Yeah, I have to get someone.
Right. Y'all come on up here. Come on, join the party.
Wow.
I didn't even know you were there.
Chief, once again, thank you for that great program. And Susan, as always, thank you for getting us organized with the new agenda. So I'll try to stick with it. And with that, we will move on to the next item, which is the upcoming community events. Mr. Lyle?
Yes, I'll fill in for Sabrina tonight, who usually does this. November 5th, the Lancelot presents Virginia Tech versus, believe it or not, West Virginia University. I don't know if they'll make it here or not. Do they know how to get here, Mayor?
Let's
Do they know how to
go.
get here?
Oh, they'll be here.
West Virginia,
most of
doesn't West Virginia use roller skates or they use ice skates?
That's at 7:30 at the Lancelot. And then the next day on Saturday, Virginia Tech
man.
versus Rowan hockey, ice hockey at 7:30. Admission is $5 and kids are free. And then, just as a reminder, I know it has been all over social media and press releases that November 8th through the 12th, the closing of Walnut Avenue in downtown Benton due to a stormwater pipe repair. So, and that's all we have.
All right. Thank you, sir. We appreciate that. Look forward to the game. So I guess we will, the next item, we'll check and see if there are any requests to postpone or change the order of the agenda. Hearing none, we will move on. And now to the consent agenda, which tonight contains the minutes of the regular meeting of October 19th, 2021. Are there any corrections or additions? If not, we'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Citizens' comments and petitions. This is for any comments that are not listed on the agenda. Anyone? Okay. Good. Moving right along.
We might make dozen reservations too.
Yeah, no kidding. That's exactly right. So now the town attorney. Good to see you, sir.
You as well, and I will not hold up this progress.
Oh, yeah.
Got a lot of paperwork over here, though, not to be able to say anything.
It's good to see Jeremy back in his natural habitat with the tie and all. You know, I was worried.
I'm much more comfortable this way.
Yeah. I was worried we were going to have to report him to the Bar Association or something. Okay, Mr. Town Manager, it's all yours.
Thank you, Mayor Gross. Good to see each of you this evening. I have no briefings this evening, so we'll keep on with that trajectory here. I do have two items requiring action, and the first one will be presented by our town clerk, Ms. Susan Johnson.
Mayor, members of council, at our last meeting, I briefed council on a Benton Advisory Committee that council established in November of 16 for reviewing the components of the gain sharing agreement. I told you at the last meeting that they never held an organizational meeting. Several members are no longer with the town, and as we know, an MOU was done in 19 to replace the gain sharing agreement. So staff is recommending to clean up our boards and commissions that we dissolve the Benton Advisory Committee. So I have a resolution before you to dissolve this committee unless you have any questions.
Okay, thank you for that.
I'll so move a resolution.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Stovall,
I'll second.
second by Councilmember Lyles. Any questions, comments? No? Please call the roll, Susan.
Councilmember Lyles?
Yes.
Councilmember Mullins?
Yes.
Councilmember Stovall?
Yes.
Mayor Gross?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
The next item I have before you this evening is for council to consider a resolution to execute the Emergency Supplemental Historic Preservation Fund sub-award agreement with DHR and the Historic Preservation Agreement deed, also with DHR, Department of Historic Resources. This is, both of these items are for the Gish Mill redevelopment project. The town was fortunate enough to receive a grant in the amount of $250,000 for historic stabilization. This is the initial preparation work for the mill. So this actually goes in and stabilizes the structure. Also has a few components of demolition to remove some of the non-historic features of the property. And the project also paid, or the grant funds also paid for the H&H study, which was very essential in us determining that this project was feasible. And it also helped cover the expenses towards the application for the National Register of Historic Places. So it's a very beneficial grant project, and this will be the first funds that we'll be using towards getting construction underway. We actually met with DHR on site last Thursday. Nathan did a wonderful job to facilitate that meeting. So we had 4 members of DHR on site. We had the contractor who's going to do this initial work, 2 members of the team from David Hills in his studio, several staff members. So I think in all we had 15 or 16 folks that did the tour last week. It was very beneficial. They actually spent about 2.5 hours on the premises, and we went item by item on the processes that this grant will actually pay for. So we went specific, every aspect of that building to confirm and that each aspect of the work was eligible, and how we would manage it moving forward. So it was very beneficial. DHR were very accommodating. It was great to have them on site. They had not seen the structure other than visually by pictures. So other than Mike Poulos, who you know who had consulted with the town when we first acquired it, but the other 2 folks associated with this grant had not seen it in person. So they're super excited. Hill Studio remains super excited. So we'll hopefully get some. The contractor was on vacation this week, so he expects to be on premises next week to get construction underway. So looking forward to that.
Any comments that they might have made? Because, I mean, you know, it's probably one of the oldest structures, not just in Benton, but maybe like in the state. I mean, or close to it.
Well, they were impressed by the complexity of the project. For one, that was part of the reason why it ranked so high. Is just, all the different funding sources and the effort and enthusiasm the town's put forward, and all capacities for acquiring the property to sticking with it and doing all the different layers of the project to make it happen. But they were impressed with this. I think they underestimated the size of the structure. Hard to put that context to it when you look in the 2D rendering, but when they got to the structure, they had planned an hour, and as I said, we spent 2.5 walking through the different, every nook and cranny. So I think they were impressed by the scale and the complexity, and they do this type of work pretty consistently, and they were excited about what the potential for this site is going to be when it's all finished.
Awesome.
So,
I'm sure they were interested to see it because, let's face it, it's a very interesting structure, And
absolutely.
Yeah, to actually get to see it, I know one thing, I'm excited about it.
It's going to be fun to watch. There are a number of attachments in your packet, including the sub-agreement to the preservation agreement deed and the stabilization demolition plan, which is the scope of work on the project, and as well as the resolution. So I'll be happy to answer any questions. I probably did not do this as much justice as Nathan would have. As you may know, his father is running for board supervisors in their home county, and so Nathan went to support his dad tonight on election night, or he would have been here.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's great.
Where's that at?
Powhatan.
Powhatan County, yes, thank you. Powhatan.
Good.
Wow.
Good for him.
So we wish them
I
luck.
didn't know
Hope he
that.
wins.
That's great.
But other than that, I'll be happy to answer any questions, and thank you for your consideration.
Any questions, comments? Just exciting time. It's been a long time coming, so it's really great to see some activity down there now. That's for sure. So, Council, you have before you a resolution that would authorize the agreements as outlined by the town manager. Any questions, comments? If not, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
A second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Mullins, second by Councilmember Lyles. Susan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Lyles?
Yes.
Councilmember Mullins?
Yes.
Councilmember Stovall?
Yes.
Mayor Gross?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, just have a couple of comments, no really project updates from out. So just wanted to recognize the department heads for their recruitment efforts. The finance office has hired some really great qualified employees to backfill some positions. Public Works, Planning and Zoning. And I, in particular, want to acknowledge Chief Drummond and his recruitment efforts. Being a police officer is not the most easiest things in the world right now, particularly to fill vacant positions. I can attest that many of our adjacent agencies are struggling to fill police officer positions, and not only are we able to fill with qualified candidates, but Drummond has recruited and promoted within some excellent candidates. So really excited and very enthused about our future in the police department. So thanks to everyone, but Chief, well done, and it's a great time to be here.
Yeah.
And I want to recognize Chastity and her efforts on the trick-or-treating. That a lot of work goes into pulling that event together. She did it twice this year by organizing it for last week and then wisely rescheduling it for yesterday. And so appreciate all your efforts and communication. I heard some great positive reinforcement from the business owners in town, how well it was communicated and how well it was organized and pulled off. So job well done.
Let's don't leave all of it out. Okay? First off, she was dressed up like Cruella de Vil yesterday. And she has a new nickname. She is now called the Candy Nazi. Because Keith and I were passing out candy. We started out with 3 pieces per child, which I thought was pretty sensible. Nope. You gotta go down to 2 pieces because we was informed by this big old bucket that we was gonna run out of candy. Well, we got beat by the police department because they were over there giving out handfuls. So we're all running out of candy. So the Nazi goes and gets his candy, and she comes back and says, okay, y'all can leave, and we're going to pass the candy out so we don't run out.
Don't let him give you a hard time, because ask him, costumes should be mandatory, and I didn't see.
He did.
That was a costume, wasn't it?
Still didn't get candy.
I'm just glad you were there to keep these guys in line, I'll tell you, that's for sure. Yeah, no kidding.
Fun time.
Good job.
Mr. Mayor, that's all I have.
That's it. Well, thank you, sir, for those reports. Speaking of which, council will give you an opportunity. Councilmember Lyles, do you have anything further this evening?
I just want to say the same thing about like the trick or treat. I was amazed at, how busy it is. And, good thing that Chastity did tell us to stop handing out a bunch of our munchkin, because it was a big tub when I got there, and it quickly it deplenished really fast. And then she leaves and comes back with like a basket full of candy and has to tell me that she went to Kroger and it was all half price. So today when I went there, it was still half price, and so I filled my kitchen up, unfortunately, because I didn't get enough yesterday.
Plus, she gave you a bag of Skittles.
Yeah, and she gave me a bag of Skittles. I ate almost all of them on the way home. So my dentist is going to love me. And then still on the same trick-or-treating, yes, Lori, just to your point, Mike did dress up. We refer to them as mules today, but those mules were a little different back in the day. So he did dress up. That's all I got.
You want to answer her question?
He told me earlier.
Oh, he did?
Dressed up as town council member.
Oh, I think I'm going to pass on all that.
Any shot I get.
Yeah. Lori, you have anything further?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I could follow. No, tonight was enjoyable. That was great. I mean,
Absolutely.
we look like we have an easy job, and it's all thanks to the staff, and Susan keeps us on track, and staff members have everything just planned out, and we just look like we just move right along. So thank you all. Thank you very much. And I'm glad everybody got to trick or treat yesterday. I'm sorry I missed it.
It was good.
Yeah, and not to belabor the point, but I think yesterday shows truly a true example of the work that staff does. It almost lends to the fact that you just, y'all probably surprise you, but I like to get out of the box every once in a while, not stay in it. But it almost yesterday really kind of set the pace to the fact that we just go, look, You know, they got the Christmas in January, so we just look at it and go, look, instead of doing that day of Halloween or the 2 days before, we do yesterday, because you're absolutely right. I'm gonna tell you one thing now, from 3 o'clock to 4:30, I mean, they was wrapped all the way down the street and everything, but once again, hats off, and it was a great event. We love seeing people
And
come to
candy's half off.
Yeah, right. Candy's half off. And I do want to take my hat off to the Public Works Department to town, Walden Avenue. I'm going to call it like I saw it when I got out. It's like, whew, that's a big hole right there. And I mean, it was. And you look at that big old piece of concrete down in it, and actually, Rossi, am I saying that right? David was there. I guess the head guy. Had a great conversation with him. A smart guy. And stood there and talked to him for about 15 minutes. So anyway, but thank y'all for getting on that. And I think we've advertised it well. We shared that post on Facebook to everybody. So sure, hopefully we can get that all taken care of. And you know, you don't realize, to me, the magnitude of that until you ride up to the other project and look at that pipe.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, dang, that thing would ever be full? That's a lot of water. But anyway, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Keith, I'm never sure how to respond, man. You go. You're
It just
exactly.
comes out, Mayor, sorry.
You do a great job. And not to belabor the point too much, but Trick or Treat was great. You did a great job organizing that, and it was a lot of fun. And I think most of all, the kids had a lot of fun, and they made a lot of fun of Mike and Keith. So it was good all the way around, and police department, everybody worked on it. You know, it was super. It was just another team effort. Mike, you pointed out something I think is very important for us to keep in mind. Some of our stormwater projects are big. That's a lot of water and a lot of force that comes through those things. That's the reason they, you know, sometimes blow up and stuff like that. So those are important projects, and they're big projects, you know, and I'm just glad that we are able to make the necessary repairs. I do think we've got some challenges we'll need to address in the future.
Well, and it's almost like renovating. You know, you're going to move this wall in your house. No, you don't think it's that big of a deal until you get behind the wall, because, you know, as you look at these projects and they'll start digging and digging and digging, and you think, okay, they want to stop right here because that's all the pipe they got. But once they dig a little more and they look up, and it, you know, it just snowballs. But anyway, so yeah.
Yep. Very, very true. Hey, and by the way, I appreciate you guys for coming to the 52nd anniversary celebration of the Roanoke Valley Allegheny Regional Commission. It was the end of my 4-year term, and it was a good evening. So I appreciate you guys being there. It was very, very nice. I'd like to mention one other thing just real quickly, since we've got a few minutes. You know, sometimes we can get a little discouraged by the news media and stuff like that, and boy, you just think this country's in dire straits. And I know we got some challenges, but then you have evenings like this, and you see really quality people coming aboard, and you know, people that want to do a good job, and qualified people. So it's very, very encouraging to me to see that kind of activity. Along those same lines, I had an opportunity to attend a student debate in which high school students, it was a Roanoke Catholic, debated political positions and took the position of political candidates and everything. And I want to say a couple things. Number one, I don't want to ever run against any of those kids, because, I mean, they were really, really sharp. And secondly, it was just really encouraging to see how involved they were, and what a great understanding they have of our process. So I'm excited, and it was just refreshing to see all that. You know, like I say, we see so many negative things. It's really good to see some positive stuff. So I'm thankful to see that. Anything else to come before council this evening? No? Well, you know, we're going to get out at the time we normally...
Yeah, when we got started. We never even got started, did we?
Yeah, really. That's right. Well, if there's nothing further to come before council, we will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
A second?
I'll second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Going home.
Yeah. Thank you, folks.
Hey,
God bless.
Chief. Thanks,
Yeah,
buddy.
thank you. Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's tough.
They fit perfect.
And
I use these every year, man.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah, you know,
And I lost my thing.
See, Jeff,
We'll
I
do
lost
that all
my
day.
I can,
So I did.